because I'm now holding the mic.
Yep.
I feel like this transition from this right back to this, it'd be a lot, man.
It's a lot. It's Olympic sports.
I'm ready. I'm ready for the arm, like the mics on the stands. Okay, I did have one, but it looked like braces from the 1950s. It was just metal, like fucking weird. Like
I'm not a fan of the clappies. Like it's giving spiraling. I don't know, but I like having autonomy.
Okay,
So
yeah.
I like this.
Do you like holding the
I
mic?
do.
Okay,
I mean,
cool.
I understand why you want them.
Right.
Yeah, but like I kind of like.
I'm one of these niggas that's like everything has
You
to.
want to move around.
It's
and stuff.
you know, but I also noticed too with this setup, and I'll be switching America. We're gonna be making all kinds of changes around this fucking place here soon. But with this particular setup, the arm comes no matter what arm I use, unless I suspend it directly from the ceiling like an old like a boxing like ladies are I'm doing that. It comes directly in my face, and like now that we're doing these, it's not really giving like I wanted to give,
That's
you know?
Yeah, and that might be why, because I think we talked about it, but I like to adapt.
Yeah,
and like those don't to me like yes you can move them out of place, but I'm about the aesthetics, and so like I want to change my set all the time.
Right, and you're also like sort of like trapped, and like you got to make sure you know.
You need something to clamp it to.
It's a whole thing. It's an entire thing. Tech.
It's a lot.
We love it. Ain't that right, Fran?
I love tech. I can't believe I'm saying
Make sure you zoom in when Fran said this.
I love tech.
Shout out to all the babies loving tech, okay? To all the black queers and queens, theys, thems, he's, hems. Yeah, we need it. Black people, like, this is our time. This is our space just as much as anybody else's. And we need black engineers, right?
Yeah.
Like, we need black
like
minds.
the original, like, alchemizers.
Period.
Of anything that is technical. Like, it's rooted in black history. And
Period.
so, like, for us to be so, like, you know, that's some white people shit, or, like, this is too technical, or it's not fun. Like, the computer is a tool to create whatever you would fucking want. And, like, that's what's helped me to, like, really re-envision my relationship with tech. Where it's just, like, I can do whatever the fuck I want.
I love that. I
can create a game where if I just want to shoot up ignorant white people, I can.
You can do that.
Like, I don't have to go on a Vader's End, which is, like, it's a game or whatever, where it's kind of, like, set in the 1950s, and, like, it's like the like one of those country towns, and you're there, and like you're the
like a Wild Wild West, like a Western.
Yeah, kind of similar to that. But
okay.
like, if I want to go create a game and like do that shit, and like I don't have to sell it and give it to nobody else, it can be just for me. But like just the idea that whatever I want to see in my head, I can put into a text space.
It's beautiful.
It's just like really beautiful
and really liberating.
And liberating as fuck.
Yeah.
And then like if you want to have the conversation around like getting people to be able to like get into sustainable communities, like there are bags to get, you know. There are bags
to be bagging. There are bags to be bagging. All right, y'all niggas, let's get into it. Truly, dead ass. Yo, let's open the show up, okay? Welcome back to the Hard R's. It's me,
Francesca. Catch this love.
Love that.
Fran Daddy.
I'm just, guys. Okay, so let's talk about how this relationship came to be. Okay, I, as an older black femme who is developing a more positive relationship with tech and really using tech to expand my community. Twitter was always terrifying to me as an Instagrammer, as a Facebook, or well, not Facebook anymore. Look, Mark Zuckerberg told me that I can't be there. Mark Zuckerberg banned me from Facebook years ago and was like, "You are 25 years of content, gone. Damn. You're done here." Remember I was telling you about like my political organizing and shit, and I got tired of saying the same thing over and over again, and that's how this one. So as coming out of that world into Twitter, it's just And nigger Twitter.
Black Twitter plus, that's what I like to call it.
It really is a whole different animal. And I was horrified and scared to jump in, but I did. And I do that thing where I like quietly observe for a while.
Yes.
And Fran just kept coming up in my threads, and every fucking thing you said. You know, like the algorithm.
How does that happen, man?
I think the algorithm goes like I was liking things that like people that you follow like, or like we find each other.
I get how it works, but then at the same time, I don't.
It'd be wild.
Because I be feeling so detached from communities that I feel like I need to be a part of.
Yes.
And I think that's what it is. But that is intentional a lot of times, and that's whole nother
right. That's right. We'll get into that. More on that later.
Shadow banning and all that.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay. And you are unable to actually like reach your target audience or even create a target audience because you are literally being like you are a victim of like the racist of literal racism. And what is it? Systemic racism. But I personally find, or what I've been feeling lately is that, especially in the face of COVID, and we're gonna talk about this. People show their asses and have showed their asses, so it's like when the trash takes itself out, what's left behind is like a bunch of like I imagine us as like weird amoebas, and this is a science experiment, and we're all finally congealing in this way that we did not have the ability to do before, because our spaces were always filled with these people that have not done any work, don't want to do any work, don't really have the desire to do shadow work.
We're just real stuck in having them same conversation.
Period.
Like, I'm just real stuck.
So it's exciting,
yeah,
and fitting that we're finding each other.
Yeah.
I hate all the bullshit that COVID has brought, but it truly has also brought about community in a way, and community in a way that like Octavia Butler in Parable of the Sower builds community, where it's not like it's intentional, and like you actually do have to reach out. And I think what I did was I just like, you reached out to me first.
I think so. I was just like, I appreciate whatever's happening or something.
Yeah, you said like I like your shit. And I was like, I like your shit. I'm like, I was, and dead ass y'all, like, we'll talk about this too, but I was like in such a depressive, I was in such a deep depressive episode that you reaching out to me just to say hey, like, and you have been on my mind too, like, and my anxiety plays in this way where I was like, I want to say hi to Fran, but they don't know me, and she's gonna ignore me, or like I'm gonna be laughed away, or like whatever. Which is all lies. Like, it's all lies.
We tell ourselves.
Lies we tell ourselves. It's like my brain is tricking my eyes.
Yeah, I've been having a lot of conversations about that, because I was telling you I'm in a new space where I'm navigating those feelings that I never thought I would feel.
Yeah.
Which is, if you never thought you'd be depressed or had anxiety, or if you thought that like, those things would just miss to you, that's so false. It's gonna hit you at some point. Something's gonna happen. You're gonna feel it, and you're gonna have to navigate that shit.
Y'all ever been year 3 COVID 20? Y'all been COVID 2022? Y'all been doing the same goddamn vicious cycle. So if this is how y'all feel about COVID, imagine how Black people feel year over year. Systemic racism over time after time.
All the things.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm learning that I can't trust my brain, and that's a phrase a friend of mine has been using that. Like, I can't trust my brain, and so what that looks like is I have to run through. It's cognitive dissonance, but I have to run through all the possible other outcomes of this situation before I can say and stake claim that this person hates me, or that like I'm right about my my built up crazy.
Right, whatever it is, the anxiety or whatever.
Whatever it is, and so I can't trust my first brain. I have to, and that it can feel so foreign. You're so used to like
it's a betray. It's the
betrayal.
ultimate betrayal. Your brain, nigga. I can't trust my brain.
Like what?
It's like, who you gonna trust, me or your lying eyes? That's what my brain is telling me, and I'm like, how? But your brain, the betrayal of the brain being the ultimate gaslighter. Like, you really being your own worst enemy is a dead end. It can really, it's really true. And I'm so grateful to you for actually reaching out, because that sparked this relationship, and it sparked like conversation, and like now here we are doing this fucking pod, nigga.
I'm so proud of both of us.
Same.
Like, honestly, truly, because
Same.
describing being in that space and me stepping out to say hi was me combating my brain, and so like that's beautiful. That's fucking like it's ironic as hell, but it's beautiful.
I want to like let's get the edit in where like we can do like stars or like like a rainbow. Yeah. Like climbing out of it, friendship, developing relationship, growth, community, like, evolution. Fuck your brain. You know
like,
what I'm saying?
Like literally, you gotta go. And so the steps are like going through that with yourself and not just trusting the first thing you say. Because how we
or the first thing
that
you feel, yeah.
The first thing that you feel, like you just gotta sit there and like you gotta do that analyzing work with yourself before you just project that out.
What were you about to say about how we speak to ourselves?
Oh, I was gonna say, because how we speak to ourselves, we end up speaking to other people that way.
Period.
And so, whew.
Listen, whoa, okay? And really, there's power in what you're saying, like the things that you say. Mm-hmm. The words that you say become manifestations, and that energy has to go somewhere. I've talked about this a lot on this podcast, even in terms of greater macro issues like capitalism and like the veil being lifted off of that.
Yep.
Energy has to go somewhere, okay? And like you've got to recognize that first and foremost, there's nothing wrong with being in a space where you feel these feelings. I think acknowledging that that's what it is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful way to move forward and climb out of it as you're experiencing it. But the shit is fucking hard.
It's hard. It's hard.
Self-reflection.
And that's why, we also got to get therapists. We do. The pause.
Because I just, Fran.
Listen, I know.
The girls are sick, okay? And here's the thing.
Listen. And like, damn it if we aren't.
Here's the thing.
All the shit that's happening, come on now.
We are victims. All of us live in this system, right? And I'm not even gonna do all of us thing. I'm gonna speak to America right now. I'm getting all sexy up in this fucking mic because I'm speaking to you. All right, if you're like, who, me? Is she talking about me? Yeah, I'm talking about you. All right, America. Each of us are indoctrinated and victimized by the system. Mm-hmm. We don't have a choice as to whether or not we are infested with the disease of capitalism, of supremacist ideology, of hierarchical ideology. And it's our responsibility to actually climb out of that. I'm really sorry. I know you really don't want to. It's our responsibility to when we find or we're realizing that we have mental illnesses or there are things that we should look at. It's our responsibility to do it. And I know you didn't ask to be here.
And you're gonna have to do it multiple times. Like,
okay,
I think that's the scary part.
It's a repeat. It's just like setting boundaries. It's not a one and done.
Nope. You got to go back to it. You're gonna have to re-say it. You're gonna have to say it a different way.
Americans are really all about that instant gratification. We are the brats of the fucking world. We believe that everything has to be like this. Okay, and like speaking with the Black community and instant gratification and ties to. Mm-hmm. Woo! Like materialism and like success and like joy and
escapism.
Woo! The escape, the Pisces of it all, the delusion.
Sorry, I'm fucking dead.
This is a Pisces slander house. I've already said
I'm
that before.
I'm so about it. And I'm not usually about just like full off, banning, but like I'm for it.
So also America, I was reading something about in like astrology. Pisces are a lie. You niggas, you especially go to a therapist. You first. You know what? You take let me give you my therapist.
Sorry, it was the perpetual victimhood. Is that
what perpetual victimhood?
And I never heard it quantified in such a beautiful
centrifugal
way,
motion,
but just accurately as hell.
Okay, and America's actually exiting its Pisces season and move, or it's there's like Pisces, whatever the Pisces reign is for the U astrology hoes. let me know. Drop it in
Right.
the comments or whatever. But America, this bratish, self-involved, self-indulgent behavior is literally incredibly tied to the work that we have to do to break away from it. Because even what I learned the last few years is that it doesn't matter what you look like on the outside. You could be the most yoga, spiritual, bean eating, smoothie drink. You can be looking like an anarchist, blah blah blah. You can be you work your job, you drive a nice car, you have nice jeans, and then I'm thinking of like the pea coats, the niggas with the pea coats and the round glasses and the hats, right? But like, no matter what your shell is, like if you are not addressing the fact that you were born into a system that inherently takes community and disbands it, and not just disbands it, it what is it? What's the word for it's like it's like not allowing it. It's like it's preventing. It's like it criminalizes in a lot of ways the things that we need to build community. Like
and it happens in so many just like vicious ways.
Oh,
like,
it's insidious.
It is. It's insidious. It happens in just like our homes when it comes to your family and monogamy.
Woo!
It happens in our schools. It happens.
I mean, when I found out that the kids are eating prison food and prisoners are eating kids food, I was like, y'all niggas is wild. Oh, so this is just an institution.
Literally.
Oh, so we are just. So really the only difference between one institution and the other is like these kids that get to go home or whatever,
right?
And y'all,
because they're making money off both of them.
I mean, certainly,
ridiculously.
Why you think they put them? Why do they think they put them back in school? They had to put them back in school, girl. They was like, look, y'all little niggas is going back to school, okay? We don't know. They were like, listen, we don't know whether or not. Y'all are dying not, all right?
Right. We can't.
We ain't seen one or two of you die, but we didn't know if it was from COVID or just from an accident or from natural. We didn't know. But all y'all niggas, we need to make these chicken patties, okay? The prisoners, the overpopulated prisons are not running us our bags, honey. Get little.
It's so sick. It's so sick, isn't it?
It's
so sick.
I laugh.
Oh my god.
Always. We were talking like people say like I laugh too much, and I'm like, fuck y'all. I'm going to laugh like this, dying. Do you understand? Fire burning around me because
period.
The sickness it's too much for.
It's too much to bear.
It's too much.
It's too much. It's too much. We gotta. And escapism is necessary. I didn't mean to be so critical about it, but at the same time, we're talking about like the whole delusion behind the Pisces. Sometimes it can be like, okay,
it's like you're not living.
We can't escape it all.
You're not on Earth.
We can't.
And like as much as I love, butterfly in the sky. Like I love a good.
All of it.
I'll go there with you too, but I need you, Earth. I need you here. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with tapping into and critiquing the tools people use to survive.
And the thing is, we can critique the system while in the system. I feel like so many times once you start really, I don't even know, because they like, just because you're loud about the issues, they assume that you're like no longer human. It's like, no, this is why I'm talking.
Oh my god, yes, you mentioned that
like,
the other day on Twitter.
Together. Like, we're doing the work together.
Woo!
And like,
I'm
gonna fuck up and fail numerous times throughout my life. Because oh my god, God forbid I never change or make a mistake.
Oh my god, how dare you evolve? Change,
like,
y'all!
It's so
now.
Part of being in the system is critiquing it. Part of being a part of anything is it's a love language. Like we have to.
Period.
We have to.
It's the job. It's our responsibility. It's like it's one of our human responsibilities here as members of society. Like we dead ass, truly. But oh my god. Okay, wait. How long have we been talking? Because we just literally rolled off. Okay, so wait. What have you been up to, Fran?
What have I been up to? I've been coding. We talked about a little
I
bit
love
today.
that.
I've been
You
coding.
fucking nerd. I love this. This is
I'm
sexy.
loving it. You know what it's doing. You know that the mental we touched on mental health a little bit, but it's giving me control. Like it's so therapeutic to sit there and program some shit and feel
This is
like I can
sexy.
do that shit.
Absolutely. No,
And
you
like
run
that
this.
nothing else is gonna like unless like my computer explodes, which is like what the fuck.
Right.
But
Like a
like
one
you
in a
know,
billion
like
chance or whatever.
I created a space where I can have some control, and that feels so good. And then at the same time, I'm in a space where I can get to the bag because we are gonna have to. Inflation is going up. Like,
listen, look, gas going up, rent going up,
whew.
all
And
this
so,
shit.
and I think too, like being an artist person, I've always moved through the lens of being an artist. Went to school for art. I was in a collective. I've done art for like most of my life. I think I got in this space was like I just want to do things that feel good all the time, and like yes, do things that feel good, but also do things that challenge us.
Exactly.
And help us grow because guess what? Now I got new shit that makes me feel good.
Yes. Because like we deserve we deserve pleasure, right? Like I'm going to speak as a black femme to the black community, okay? Niggas, nobody deserves to escape more than us. Do you hear me? Listen, reparations, nobody's working. My entire artistic praxis is literally rooted in the work it has to energetically come from the polar opposite side. Like my entire practice is reparations. It's required for us to do this work, to deeply like check ourselves and check the community. White people and people that are not minorities, y'all niggas need to be throwing the money. You need to be collecting the bag from your dead relatives. You need to be killing some of them and getting the life insurance. I don't care how you do it. And then you need to be turning around and pouring that energy and pouring that money directly into black communities. And really black communities that are like black femme led, because we all know what happened in the 50s and the 60s with the niggas running the house. You know, some of these, we didn't, It's another podcast for another time. But that energetic work, like,
we gotta move our resources around.
We have to.
It can't just stay in one place because that's how we got here, right?
What was the last thing we were saying though? Fuck, I
was just talking about coding and it bringing me so much to just like control and mental health and
shit.
Delusions galore.
Right. So we deserve rest. Okay,
yes,
we deserve vacations.
Yes,
we deserve niggas need to be pampering us. Okay, we deserve grapes and charcuterie boards and all that fucking shit. But we really are not going to be able to get any of those things, y'all, as a collective, as a group, without deeply investing in really all the things that Fran and I are talking about. You know, energetically shifting, changing, evolving. You have to climb out of escapism. You have to put things down and pick work up.
Yeah, you have to be intentional. You have to like it's not enough to just to want these things and desire them. We have to like eagerly and like go after them.
I think what people are afraid, and a lot of
and the invitation has to be there too for others.
Exactly, and I think people are afraid to move because we live in a society that really shames anything that is not perfectionism on the first try. It really shames the journey of becoming great. There's a process. You can't put the cart before the horse. I've been really meditating on that a lot this last month, and just putting things in their divinely proper order for the train to move forward.
Yeah.
Because jumping around allows for distractions, and distractions just foster the delusion and escapism. We really have to choose work, and we have to choose to look. This is the autonomy part, right? This is where we climb out of perpetual victimhood, right, and into like autonomy. And black people don't have the tools because. Wait, let me fix myself. Let me change that.
Enact the tools. Yeah.
Enacting them, and then also creating new ones that fit the job. I'm not gonna bring a hammer to something that requires a crane, okay? And I really think black ingenuity is like if we pick up work and choose work instead of a lot of escapism. If America picked up work and autonomy,
and also just reshaping our relationship relationship to work.
100%.
Reshaping what that looks like, because work cannot look like grinding yourself to a pulp.
No, it cannot.
For 3 cents.
It also cannot look like doing everything by yourself, Fran.
It can't. No.
Okay? I don't mean to put you on blast or whatever. All you black fans. All you black fans. And really, really, look, fans, really, people that have been like in the minority or whatever, like, anyone that is not a white man, this is for you. You have to delegate, okay? This is part of us establishing our autonomy. We have to ask for help. Oh, yeah, just like establishing boundaries, all these things. It takes practice. It takes failing. It takes,
You gonna fail. We gonna fail.
Ooh, yes. Look, people gonna be mad. Ooh, people gonna be mad, too. People gonna be upset. And I know that I was raised to, like, you don't want to be rude. You don't want to upset someone.
Yeah.
You know? You don't want to be upsetting. Mm-hmm. And now I'm like,
fuck that shit. I don't know. We also just got to get comfortable with the uncomfortable, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I was just having a conversation the other day, and, like, I'm going to disagree with myself. And it's okay for me to sit there and do that.
Yeah, you should.
You should. Like, we can't always be, on the same side, like, all the time. And, like, we got to move through it. We got to be willing to move through it. And like you said, like, we got to do the work. I don't know. I think, like, with the reshaping, our relationship with work comes, too, with, like, taking accountability for, like, kind of talked about it, like, not sitting in that victimhood. But also being like, okay, I can't, like you said, I can't keep using the same tool. And so I got to rework and re-navigate, like, my goals and how I'm going to get there. And that might also look like not doing it alone. Like, I got to put people in. I got to stop doing this part of the work. I got to find somebody else to do it.
Yes.
I might have to move out of state. There's different things that we
might
have to do.
Yes, we have options, y'all. Like, it's...
Like, I keep talking about moving out west, but I'm dead ass serious. Like, and so many of us are, and this is something, too, we've been talking about, like, there's pee in the dating pool or whatever. Like, go somewhere else.
Niggas, like, listen,
if
truly.
There's not enough people here that you feel like they get in the way, go somewhere else.
We deserve it. Understanding that you deserve that is, understanding your human right and what those are, like, we can do. It's limitless. We're limitless.
Yeah, we also just can't keep saying we deserve, and then not do anything about it.
Right. Exactly. You have to.
So go get it. Go get them bags. Go get them coins.
I just love it. So you've been over here, like, fucking taking over the world, being a fucking tech genius or whatever, fucking blowing my mind with your praxis on Twitter and in life, being a fucking babe. Zoom in on Fran. Look at these curls. Look at the hair. Look at just look. Okay. Won't we do it? Ugh. All right.
Period.
I love that. I love that that's what you've been up to.
Yeah, it's good to hear. Like I said, it's just brought me a lot of control. Also, I have a podcast, so I've been doing that.
Yes. Okay, so
new.
Please gas the pot. Why did you... Okay, you know what? Gas the pot, please. What is the name of the pot? Let me type this shit out, please.
We gonna get free, because we is gonna
get free. We gonna get free pod.
Yes, that's the name of the podcast, and it's a co-liberation space. I'm always... Like, I have definitely grown up and stepped into this world.
How dare you?
I've definitely, like, grown up and stepped into this world with a lot of privilege, and I'm very mindful of those things. Mm-hmm. And so I feel like I've had, like, we talked about this earlier, I had the toolkit when I got here, basically. Mm-hmm. And so I've always been able to take up a lot of space and, like, have the courage to do those things. And so I'm in the space now where it's just, like, I don't want to just be free by myself, right? And I've been in this space for a while, but, like, I don't want to just be free myself. So a lot of my cultural curation projects have been about how do we get us all there. Mm-hmm. And so it's a co-liberation space. I invite people to come co-author with me, right? Because I don't have all the answers. Like, let's co-author this relationship to freedom. Like, what does that look like? And so, yes, we talking about getting free, and we kind of jump subjects. The last episode, we were talking about anti-fatness and anti-blackness, and pleasure, and, like, how all those things intersect. The conversation before, we were talking about Black futurism and the natural world and our relationship to outside and nature, and, like, every topic is different, but, like, how do we get free in the spaces that we're together with each other?
I'm not gonna invite myself onto your podcast, but if I were hypothetically on the pod, I would love to talk about what reparations package means.
Yes, let's do it.
Because, baby, we need tools, and we need, like, it's the tools are viable and, like, they're available. it's just a matter of digging into that. But no, I love this. This is so exciting. And you really just created this space like a month ago, I believe is what you said.
I came up with the idea like maybe a month and a half ago, and I just did it, and we about to put out our 4th episode.
I just fucking love black femmes, nigga. I really
just was like idea and go. Like it was usually most of the things that get out there. Yeah. Again, you gotta do the work.
Yeah, you have
to. You can't just sit with it. You can't mull over it for years. Because now, guess what? That idea has been done. It's gone.
Yeah.
It's no longer gonna serve you to do that work because you sat on it for like 6 years and you're in a different place now. You know, so like just do it.
I love it. I love it. I just
perfect, not perfect, whatever. Do it.
It just makes me so excited. And it just follows along in this rich tradition that has just sort of like magically blossomed over the course of doing these podcasts. But like, black femme leaders. Black femmes are leaders. Not every single one, not every single time, not every single experience. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying like more often than not, I've just been blown away by, we're like, fuck it, I'll do it. And then we just do it. And then, and that's how the shit starts. That's how like the businesses blossom. That's how. Shout out. Also, speaking of which, I've always got to shout out my sister. Shout out Rebel Rush Cosmetics. My sister created this cosmetics company. Yes. It is cruelty free. She makes everything by hand. She is.
That's something I like.
Yo. Okay, I just like listen. Rebel Rush Cosmetics, honey, it's gonna change your life. The soy candles. She So what happened was she had she's got really bad allergies, like skin allergies, and every time she would buy things, like it would be like allergen free, and then like she would wind up like with her whole fucking face. So then she just science.
Listen.
Look shit up on the fucking internet.
Black people are the original scientists. Like we are like alchemists.
Okay.
At our core.
Period.
Every manifestation of us. Like we invented tech. Like
say it.
We invented tech, and so
she did it.
Yes.
She whipped it up, and now she's got a cosmetic line. And then she's moving now into like home goods. I believe Bianca, and tell me if I'm wrong, but I think she dropped her first like major drop like in stores, so you can buy her shit in like boutiques now. Rebel Rush Cosmetics, okay? My Scorpio sister, I love you doing it, okay?
Moving and growing and evolving, yes.
It's beautiful. I'm so excited.
Absolutely.
Let's see what
I'm here for it.
What else is going on? I talked to the feds today. I talked to the federal government today. It happens. If you've listened to this fucking podcast,
sometimes you gotta get in there.
Yo, talk about just really having to jump into fields and learn things and just go because no one else is gonna advocate for you besides yourself. I'm advocating for myself. If you've been listening to the podcast, you know I was a victim of a tax fraud. Fuck you, Marathon Tax Services. You have a brick and mortar now. I know where the balls.
There's a sick history. That's a whole nother conversation. In the city of Detroit, because they are
tax
with the
insurance.
Let's talk about how are there 3 sitting council members like being indicted? Sorry,
actively, like right now.
They all in cahoots. It's crazy.
Listen,
that's a whole other
people making money and niggas make. Okay, look, the corruption, child. It's enough to make you crazy. It really is.
In a place like Detroit, that's what makes it so.
Anyways. The hurt, like
a lot of black people, a lot of crime.
The hurt
to us, you know.
That I felt, the betrayal.
Yeah.
That I felt from this situation, like, and just knowing it's not just on like, damn, I got fucked. Knowing that this is a
thing that's happening to many
greater,
people. Yes.
Oh my God, and I'm just thinking about like the deeply marginalized and like all the old people and like how COVID was a prime, like COVID 2020 was a prime year to really just like milk.
It's so sick.
It's so sad. And anyway, so I talked to the federal government today. Them niggas was like, wow, bitch, you're a whole investigator. Because I had to give them my backstory, give them the information, tell them what happened. They were like, damn, you did this? You like did our job for us? And I was like, yeah.
I mean, I got to.
It's my name on it. They not coming for you. Like, this the IRS. You the I, the R, and the S. This is serious, okay? Right. So, long story wrong, y'all. Like, we're still in churning through the reels of bureaucracy. But luckily, the IRS believes my story. They've siphoned me to the correct channels. I'll keep you posted as to whether or not this develops into just like me being okay or this, I don't know, taking down some sort of like a crime syndicate in the city of Detroit.
Literally.
Who knows? Just another day in my fucking life, honestly. But with that has been also a lot of purging. I've been doing a lot of quiet reflections and a lot of like releasing. Pisces season. Fuck Pisces.
Wow, I didn't realize. But I've been purging a lot too.
It's the mood. Look, there's a lot. So, I feel like Pisces are very prominent in my life for a variety of reasons. But the greatest one is this latest series of lessons that I've really had to learn and swallow and accept. Plus, my daughter is a Pisces rising, so or Pisces moon. So
okay. So you gotta know how to navigate it.
Tears. I have to. I must. I have to. But this season has been about like coming to terms, like directly addressing the things that do not serve me, the things, the behaviors, the attitudes, the perspectives. It's more than just people, y'all. This is where this goes back to us talking about like that deep reflection. I had to really stab myself in the gut a few times and realize, like, do that, pull it back. Doing lots.
We gotta check in with ourselves.
You do.
We do.
It's the season to do it. Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac, and then Aries is the first, I believe. Ooh. Y'all really come in and kick it in, and
we got work to do.
There's a closure that comes with the end of this season, but yeah, I've been reading a lot of people have been having wild dreams. I've been having crazy dreams this season.
That's real.
The purge, the need to purge has been like when we're done here, I'm like, I'm gonna clean out my closet. I'm like, it's been, I have to.
I feel it. I'm in the same space. I need to purge some things. I do a lot of purging regularly.
Yeah.
And so, but no, when you brought up purging, it sat with me because I've been doing a lot of emotional purging.
Yes.
And a lot of just like relationship dieting.
Yes. Ooh, yes.
Yes.
Listen, we gotta trim it, honey.
We gotta trim it. We gotta, get it. Understand again. It's back to just like understanding what's serving you, right? And what's gonna serve you going forward. Like I definitely am a futurist, and so I like to live in that imagined space a lot of times too. And so what that looks like is me always kind of like that foresight, right?
Isn't it funny?
Like this is cool right now, but like 3 months.
What's the difference between like fifth eye open and like delusion? Because it's a fine line. And a lot of y'all niggas really like to tread it.
What's the fine line?
Okay, because like you got people like us who like we're like we told you so. Like we're like we're like we're reading Octavia. We've been read Octavia Butler. We've been new. And then we tell y'all niggas, and you're like, no.
Right. What's so the difference you said between delusion and the foresight, right? I think the delusion is whatever you're saying. Is that just protecting you? Or is that, is that speaking to everything and everybody? I think that's who it's telling sometimes. It's like, oh.
Wow. You just blew my fucking mind
like
on the podcast,
like,
girl.
Like all this imagining and all this liberation and all this, like, this positivity, right? Is it serving just you, or is it serving more people than just you, or more people that live outside of the identity that you possess?
Woo!
And so I think that's what's telling. That's what's telling. That's what's been telling for me in a lot of relationships and things that I had to, relationship diet. I was like,
I love that term.
I was like, I don't know if we necessarily would live in the same utopia. And like that's fine.
Right.
That's absolutely fine. But at the same time, like you living in delusion. You're living this is La La Land.
It's not real life, y'all.
One flew over the cuckoo's nest, and like, nah, that's not where we're at. That's not where we're at.
I'm really so grateful that you fucking said relationship diet. A lot of y'all really need to do that. City of Detroit,
with
I'm
ourselves,
looking
with
at
others.
you. Yes. Relationships to things, relationships to people,
routines.
Coming to terms with what doesn't serve you too also means acknowledging grief. For me, I will speak for me. Has felt like grief. I don't have another word for it.
Go cold.
Okay.
Grief, go cold. Okay. So serious. Go get you some control. Like, literally.
Period. So
that's really what it is.
It's leaning into. I've had to pick up other things,
Yep.
like Lisa Kink and other things,
Yep.
to regain control because, wow, I felt like, damn. Like, not only is it time to let this thing go, but I've been wallowing in this energy, and to feel the presence of, like, that awareness.
Yeah.
Woo! You got puzzle. You got to do something, honey. Color, fucking read, do something, okay? Because you're gonna have to move through the grief.
You do.
It's big, but it feels so good. I feel like with spring comes this lightness. We're getting
sun.
Okay, so
the sun. It was warm today,
guys. It's still warm.
I stepped outside and was like, I don't need my jacket.
Listen, it's beautiful. Okay,
wow.
and look, I didn't know I have therapy because it's time for everybody to go do that. And my therapist was like, "Hey, babe, do you know about seasonal affective disorder?"
It's real.
And I was like, "No."
Honestly, I hear that, and like, this is okay. I don't want to be ignorant, but like, it's just that we're black.
Let's get into
We're
it.
not supposed to be cold.
Let's get into it.
We're not supposed to
This
be.
skin.
I need tropical climate.
This skin.
I need palm trees.
The
I need coconuts. I need
the
lemons
first
and limes
warm
and
day I had, or we had recently, straight up CW, because we're gonna talk about suicide right now. But I was like, cool. I don't want to kill myself today. I don't want to kill myself. I don't want to like get a latte and just drive off the Ambassador Bridge. Like, I can live. I want to see my friends. I want to be outside. Like. This is the first year I have been this present in my body also.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a mood.
Yes.
I really turning this big age and making choices prior to turning this big age that were in alignment with becoming me means being present in my body, and that is both beautiful and horrifying.
I get that.
It is both, because it comes with a lot of, just like, it comes with a lot of big responsibility to choose autonomy over, like, fodder every day. And that's some warrior shit, nigga. Like, that's like some fucking.
That's real. I hear the 30s are the glow up time.
Look,
I hear that so often.
It's
and like, you know, I'm a baby, whatever you want to call me.
You're not a baby. You're not a baby. I haven't. No, my. Yo, you coming to terms, nigga. Damn. We was just talking about this before we got on the camera. Like, the fact that, like, you just like, God damn, like, I'm really 25. Fuck.
That happened.
You be in your 20s.
Yeah.
I turned 35 and I was like, I'm 35. I'm about to be 40 in this bitch.
Wow.
40? 40? In human years?
Days be going by so quick now too. It's crazy.
Woo!
But like, yeah, I've just always had friends and people I was close proximity to that were always much older than me. Like, I don't think I could count on 2 fingers how many friends I ever had that were like my age ever.
I love
that I
that.
shared space with, and so I'm just seeing what 30s are.
It's a mood,
and it's just like, oh damn, bitch, you in your shit.
We in here,
like, you're doing all of the things, like, and I love to see it, but like doing them well and okay with it. It's like, not, you know, we have our things. But like, are comfortable with being like, no, this is my space. I'm gonna take up, and like, if I'm gonna go after those things, and like,
it feels very ancestrally, like, reviving. It feels like walking in my power.
Yeah.
And I never thought I was gonna make it here.
Wow.
Dead ass. I can say wholeheartedly, like, I truly did not expect or anticipate living past the age of 25. Even with a child.
The song, you know.
Even with a child. Even with my kid. I was like, I'll die and, like, she'll be fine. Like, as fucked up and like that, obviously. Well, you know, we worked through that, guys. Like, therapy and, like, lived experience. My God, you ever just be down bad? But
no, I mean it's real.
Yeah, no, it's like it has felt a lot like really understanding what choice is. Like really understanding, and that also means that I don't really have time anymore either for like anything other than like, are you on this boat? Are you not? Like, are you in this for liberation? Are you in this for like in relationships, in examining myself and critiquing myself? You know. And we're humans. We fall down. We're fallible. You said something really beautiful on Twitter, and I really appreciated it. You were saying, like, a lot of times when you are in community organizing spaces, or you are like you are the leader, like people put you in this like martyr, this wild role that like you did not fucking ask for. And not only did you not ask for it, but like it does not give anybody the accountability necessary to do this work themselves. So it's like you pigeonhole me into this weird superhero thing where I'm just a person, just like you. If I could do it, you could do it.
We can all do it.
We can do
have
this.
to do it. That's the thing too.
Yes.
Like, we can't sit around and. That's why celebrity culture is dying.
Woo!
Like,
it's got
because
to.
They're not doing shit, right?
No,
because
they're
just like you.
How about that?
We all have a responsible role. Liberation is a collective responsibility, right? And so again, that's why co-liberation spaces I find just so sobering, right? It's because it's like it's a space to be reminded that like I ain't free without you,
right? Yeah,
and you ain't free without me, you know. And so like we got to stop putting ourselves on pedestals. We do. Because I think too that's a part of it, right?
It's a huge part of it.
There's a lot of ego involved in activism.
It's
especially in this
huge part of
age of like we talked about it earlier, the social age of like immediate gratification and like all these things. And so we have to understand that like, you know, we all have a social responsibility, no matter how uncomfortable that is for us.
And speaking of which, let's move into the next fucking segment because goddamn, do I love it. It's one of my personal favorites. And if you've been listening to the podcast, it used to be called Whose Motherfucking Mans Is This Anyway?
I fucking did.
Okay? / Dumb Bitch Juice. It would be like 2 segments. But now, what we're doing is we're slashing Whose Motherfucking Mans Is This Anyway? And it's just Dumb Bitch Juice. This is a genderless drag, okay? It can be a person, a place, a concept, somebody pissed you off, whatever. Just come and air it out, okay? I love that we were talking about the death of celebrity culture because we're gonna slide into my dumb bitch juice this week.
Yes.
Jane Campion, girl, what the fuck is wrong with you?
That was great. Can you do that again? Like what the fuck is wrong?
What the fuck is wrong with you? And see, that's the problem. Some of y'all that make it when you be up in these spaces, you've never had somebody sit you down and say, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" Seriously, wholeheartedly. When you've been yes to death, when you've been yesified to death, when you've been, yeah, girl, you're amazing. Oh my God, your art. Oh my God, your creativity. Oh my God, the way you think about things. Oh my God. When that's been your experience, you walk your fucking ass up on stage and do exactly what the fuck she did, which I'm about to read from the internet right now. And then you have bitches like me looking at you like this on Beyonce's internet asking, what the fuck is wrong with you? Okay? White women, come and get your people. Please come and get your people. Jane Campion.
The check-ins have commenced.
I truly, she's a director, okay, if you didn't know, and I'm getting this off of CNN.com. She has had to apologize to tennis stars Venus and Serena Williams. How you go?
Both.
Both?
Both. Like, have we not learned from their father? I don't understand.
Both? Okay, so she had to. It's really. I don't know what.
Did she not see the movie?
I don't know what secret like cavern y'all go to fish out the audacity, but it really. It always blows my mind. So she had to apologize to both the Williams sisters, calling a comment she made during her acceptance speech at a Sunday night's Critics' Choice Awards thoughtless. The power of the dog, Helmer said. This is the woman. This is Jane. Jane says, Venus and Serena, You're such marvels. However, you don't play against the guys like I have to. So let's play this out. Let's play this out. So let's play this out.
What is up with white women humbling other women, and specifically other black women?
Well,
like, what the
misogyny.
Fuck? I mean, yes,
you know,
but like, goddamn.
So let's just
it's so insidious.
Let's just play this role, okay? So you're Jane Campion, and I'm like, Jane Campion, you're the winner of your Critics' Choice Award, an award that has nothing to do with tennis or sports or it's the or even like sports commentators. This is critics in your field. This is your award, girl. What you gotta say?
I can't say that shit. I'm sorry.
This bitch got up on stage and said, thank you, yes. And then she said, Venus and Serena.
What did they have to do with anything?
The niggas was like, what the fuck I had to do with it? Can you imagine Venus and the women were like, yes, okay, they were in the audience. Because like they're also like Venus and fucking Serena. They both, first of all, they tennis star, like they're the best. Like we all duh. But like they're both moved on. They're doing other things. Serena's got her own line.
Right.
Venus is doing other kids. Jane, what?
Why are you bringing me in your shit?
I feel like what happened was she walked her. Look and also look at this woman. Look at this woman. Look at her. Look at her, Fran. Look at her. Pardon my crack phone. I cracked it at the gym. I was having a hard day.
I'm sorry.
Woo! Pisces season also. I cannot wait for you to be over.
She about to die. I'm sorry.
Okay, listen. She's not. She's not giving.
They age bad.
Oh, you know, well, the racism,
like,
the hatred, it curdles them like milk. You know what I mean? If you learned how to mind your business, okay, white women, and take care of your own things, you wouldn't look like the Crypt Keeper from Tales from the Crypt. Okay, you wouldn't look like Skeletor up in this bitch. So I feel like what happened was she must have seen Venus and Serena, and I think what happens is when white women are viscerally responsive to black femmes, especially powerful black femmes. Black women really disarm white women.
Yeah.
And instead of accepting the award she was getting for doing her job well, her insecurity leapt out and she attacked these two women and said some inaccurate and dumbass fucking shit. Then she said this. I made a thoughtless comment equating what I do in the film world with all that Serena Williams and Venus Williams have achieved. I did not intend to devalue these two legendary black women and world-class athletes. The fact is, the Williams sisters have actually squared off against men on the court and off, and they've both raised blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Okay, so she, like, had to check herself and, like, you know. I'm personally really tired of people being like, I didn't intend to. Because intention doesn't outweigh impact.
It doesn't.
The impact of the situation is that your misogynoir peeked through, and now you're looking to and then even after you said this dumb shit, you were photographed hugging Serena apologetically. You know how you already know, Fran. You already know because we've been in spaces like this. Have you not been had experiences like this?
Oh yeah.
Where some white person is what it says some thoughtless, dumbass, fucking racist ass shit. They get caught. They're held accountable. I'm so sorry. Let's hug it out. Oh my God. I was just.
So you gonna attack me and then hug me? Like, no. It's not how it works. You don't get to touch me.
And see, what's upsetting is that she had to, like, black women have to just take it. Because y'all do the thing where, see, if Serena had actually given her the 2-piece and a biscuit, like she should have fucking done in this situation, because what the fuck, like, literally keep my name out of your mouth. I'm over here eating I'm over here eating my fish with my husband, who's a billionaire. Instead of that being what happened, we have to swallow human responses and be the dignified. Because being an angry black woman is the trope. It's the trope. Go high, okay? Look, maybe I wouldn't have hit her, but I would have at least publicly said, "Listen, bitch, keep my name out of your mouth."
Because I'm already not meeting whatever standard of acceptability you want me to anyway. So, like, what's the fucking point?
Bitch, you didn't make a movie about tennis. You made a movie about shit that has nothing, like... That's what it was. So no.
Okay.
I'm understanding the connection now. She got mad because I feel like King Richard the movie was up against her movie.
Oh God.
That's where the insecurity left out. That's what it was. Because I was like, why would you
said that shit on stage though? Like,
you're a mess. You're disgusting. Get it together, honey.
Buddy.
You
know what it is? People have not been going outside either.
Yo, and
so
look, I've been fucking saying. I said the vaccine and the booster got these people going ham.
Going nuts.
Yo, y'all broke the floor. Y'all broke St. Andrew's floor at the Baby Keem concert.
I heard that.
Y'all are losing.
Which is like really believable though.
Yes.
Like, but at the same time,
but also,
damn. What was y'all stumping?
I think that I'm confused because the thing is, it's like the behavior gives me that you haven't been outside, but a lot of y'all people that went to that show have been doing outside activities. No. So it's like, is the booster, like, are you getting boosted? Did the booster, like, I'm not saying don't get boosted. I'm saying get boosted and do the things. Like, I'm boosted, but I'm saying, like, y'all are reckless. Like, you're just really, after being inside and by yourselves and holed up.
That's wild.
You're really just saying whatever and doing whatever.
That's wild, but I also would like to be there. I haven't been outside at all. Yeah,
Fran, you been in?
I've been in the house.
Damn, you haven't like so not even like one show. You haven't been in like one. Whoa! Yeah. So can I ask you? Is it because like is it you don't trust these other people type thing? Is it just like you don't have the vibe? Like is the vibe not vibing?
I don't know. I think a big part of it was I took it so seriously, and like I think we should obviously.
I mean, yes.
And I also was like, my pod was I was just I was culty.
Okay.
I'm gonna be honest.
Call it what it is, man.
I was culty. I was in my like this is our social responsibility. Like we have to not be out here, and like especially. It also was like because I'm someone that's looked at as an organizer, right? I put myself on that pedestal.
Okay.
Of like I can't be selfish.
Yes,
and like
truly.
and like still preach about how we need to all stop being selfish.
Right.
And so that's what it was. But I think ultimately too, like I just I think I haven't felt comfortable enough with the folks who I would entertain going somewhere with to also go to an event with them, like because they haven't been practicing safely the entire pandemic. So
and that's completely fair.
And then also I haven't really been moved by any particular artist to go see them. I love intimate spaces when it comes to like digesting music, and I'm also a festival girl, and so I'm considering going to some festivals this summer.
Movement.
Not in Detroit.
What?
I mean, so I'm with movement, but I like the underground movement. Again, I like the intimate. Like I like to be in a house set and we like the DJ is in front of me.
I mean, so movement isn't really
like in front
for me. It's not just movement. It's like the parties around movement.
Like
those underground.
Okay. So we on the same page.
Yeah. Like if I like listen, if we get tickets or whatever, and somebody wants to throw me tickets or whatever, somebody
they put all my niggas on movement this year too. Like,
they surely did.
A lot of artists are getting their recognition.
Yes, but typically the movement, and I'm gonna be honest, my first movement participation ever was 2 years ago.
Okay.
Or sorry, right before it shut down, right before COVID happened.
Okay.
Because I had never gone. I had those reservations, and I had equated movement to a white space because it is.
Yeah.
And I was angry because house music and tech and all that shit is black. The Detroit techno is black. That is period. That is bottom line. So I did not know until later that there was like parties and underground things and shit happening around the festival.
I love going. I love dancing. I love that. That's all beautiful. And so I would be in the underground spaces for sure.
I love that. Okay.
For sure. Yeah.
What'd you do? Okay, so during COVID or not during COVID? I mean it's still COVID, but late in the game I went to like a candle lit like the Masonic does like a little intimate thing, but everybody had to like wear masks and you have to get your temperature checked and all that shit.
I also just maybe haven't been keeping my head in knowing what's going on.
Yeah.
But no, that sounds dope. I just really love intimate spaces, and I think I've also just been very protective of myself.
Yes,
like,
as you should be.
Just like the energy I'm around and all those things.
100%, yo.
We don't have a lot of spaces that are intentionally doing care practices for Black people.
No.
When we're out in these environments, like
it's so true.
I was going to this that's new-ish on the scene. I was going there a few times, and niggas ain't there now. It speaks a lot to just like what the collective care practices are, not just like us showing up as participants in this vibe and this aura, but also just like the DJs and the people. And so, yeah, I don't know. I definitely want to go to some music festivals this summer, and I've been like, navigating and thinking about what that looks like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think I be in my head sometimes when it comes to like who's benefiting from this the most.
I think that that's a question that I ask myself all the time. And as a person who does community organizing and has been a whistleblower or whatever in my spaces, whatever that fucking, okay. All right, getting banned from different platforms and all that shit because I'm just sharing an experience. That's the lived experience.
Right, I'm telling my truth, the truth.
Okay,
truth,
like what's happening in this, like, yo, I go to your club and like I'm hassled in these ways, or I'm watching black people be hassled in these ways, or why is your back of house staff all niggas, but your front of house staff is all these white people, like the list goes on and on and
all
on.
All those things, are in my head when I'm in a space, unfortunately.
I mean, but I feel like it's not unfortunate, because I think that like while ignorance is bliss in a lot of ways for a lot of people, again, for you have the energy of somebody older because, again, like, consciously choosing.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a choice.
I'm realizing that.
It's every day. And as shitty as it is realizing that, like, that limits us, like, as far as, like, where we can move, it also opens the window of accessibility for creating this shit on our own, right? And that's what I'm advocating. That's what I advocate for, and that's what I'm pushing for wholeheartedly. Like, and we have to protect ourselves when we do this work because, as a person who did not have energetic protection for a long time, and was in the public, like being in a punk band, being in a white punk band in a white scene with nothing but ancestors. Thankfully, always like watching, but like I didn't have the protection. I just didn't. Yeah. And I really hurt myself. I was really self-harming and really imploding regularly, almost like patternistically, So protection, moving, and congealing finally. I think divine order too is real funny because I think that things are coming in time, we're finding each other in the right time.
Yeah, and even just reflecting now, it makes me sad that I can't call out a space where I'm like, go here. It's completely like that space for us, and so it goes back to creating those spaces. But also, like you said, reparations, calling niggas out, right? Because if you gonna keep having us black niggas that's making you money by selling these drinks, by getting these heads in the door, you gonna have to cough up more money to have us do residencies. It makes no sense that my residency that is funding like your whole, and I'm getting kind of specific.
Get specific. We love it here. Here on the Hard R's, the more specific, the better. Okay? Shit, dead ass. Because fuck y'all. Because I'm tired. I'm so, and like the only way it's going to change is if like this problem is presented in its fullness. And you need to look at this mess.
And you gotta care about the people that's showing up. It makes no sense that cars getting busted into when we go to these places. It makes no sense. It makes no sense.
It's wild. It's wild.
Together.
It's wild.
I think the space specifically that I've been talking around, it's gonna be interesting going forward because the initial artist who was in this space residency is over, and so they're gonna have to do a lot of work to continue to establish the energy and the presence that's existed there. Yeah, and so we'll see where it goes. We'll see. We'll see where it goes. These people too that run the space aren't new to our community, so we'll see.
My grandma always said that time reveals all truths, right? And I'm a long game bitch. As a Cancer sun too, I'm a long game bitch, and I'm always watching every single one of you. I said it fucking 15 years ago when I was doing music. I said it 10 years ago. With the Hamtramck Music Festival, I've said it and continue saying it. With a lot of you Detroit do-gooders and you know, you like all of y'all. I'm still looking at you, and I'm going to keep looking at you.
Yeah.
And I'm going to keep making you uncomfortable because this is a black ass city, and you are exploiting and profiting handsomely off of the culture.
Yeah.
And we're done.
and like, if we want to be literal, like our bodies.
Oh, I mean, it's
Like,
it's 100% the labor, the part of dismantling anti-blackness and the insidiousness of white supremacist ideology is recognizing that at the very core of all of this work, there has to be an unlocking to the truth that you use black people for everything.
Everything.
And you expect that you expect us to just be okay with it. The way the system works is that, like, we kind of have to, right? Like, we're just grinding through. But no, guys. No.
Because we're going to keep, calling you out. And, yeah. And we also going to create,
our own shit. Exactly. It's really I love the parallel of both, like, the climate of, like, just American awareness. Like, I feel less alone in these liberation ideas. I feel like I'm actually things are catching up to ways I felt for a long time.
Well, and the pandemic forced it.
100. And look, I've said on the podcast too, I love COVID.
Like, the curtain was just pulled back, and it was like, oh, it's just a white man behind. Oh, wow. White man behind this curtain.
This whole time.
That's crazy.
This some Wizard of Oz shit this whole time. And
so
niggas.
All the things just breaking down.
Yes.
Everything just falling out. The fucking spewel. It's just, it's coming crashing down. And, we'll be here, and we are building the new world, and we're going to keep building it,
I love this. Really, that leads into, God, we've been talking for an hour. Okay, so let's go to the topic of the day. God,
it's real fertile right now.
Listen, it truly is. I love that you said that. The metaphor that I've been using. So I started gardening.
Yes.
2 years ago. So I have like a 10-foot garden in the back, and
I love that.
We're starting little seedlings and doing the whole thing.
Yes.
And it was a really good way for me to, I don't like to say reclaim anything because, again, I have never felt so present in my body ever. So it feels like it was a really good way for me to tap in to my present body and heal in a very...
And it's an ancestral expertise, knowledge.
Exactly.
Because even though we were doing it as slaves, like, we were there because we had that knowledge.
And it's so funny because I remember when some of my neighbors, it's also a really great way to, like, learn your neighbors, because niggas is always like, what you doing over there,
Invitation,
It's great, exactly. But it was funny because, like, one person was like, you just, like, in the dirt, and, like, that's, you making a mess, and da-da-da-da, and I'm like, yeah, boo, like, it's a garden. Like,
right.
It's a garden. It's dirt. Like, we're dirty, like.
This is agriculture,
Right, we're out here, but, like, it's really just helped me change, perspective.
Yeah.
Not just on a personal level, but, like, it's really just shifted, like, my mental.
Yeah.
So, I've been applying the term Black Spring to the last, like, 3 years of my evolution. And I feel like I'm a little seedling, like, inside the earth. And it's dirty, it's grimy, there's other creatures in that bitch, okay? Sometimes you get eaten and shat back out into something else, sometimes you don't, okay? But you gotta go through this dark period, right? And there's, like, topsoil, there's all this stuff that you gotta actually, like, push towards, right? But you do. Yeah. You do. Like it comes. It happens. And it feels like Black Spring. It just feels like,
I love that.
Personally and nationally, the spiritual energy just feels like spring.
I love that. I think so many of us have to reshape our relationships with nature and outside.
Oh my God.
Right? Because for me, like, and I don't spend a lot of time, like, gardening or doing anything like that.
I'm gonna invite
Which is
you over.
being,
You'll come and hang out.
I would love that.
I got a
I
hammock
would
this
love
year.
that. I would, yes.
Shout out Jaylee. Thank you for the hammock.
Yes. I love that because, we're a reflection. Like, our relationship with nature is a reflection of our relationship with each other. Right? Because we treat it as other. Right?
Yes.
Nature and there's queer ecologies. And so we have to really, like, get back to, and I like how you say you didn't want to use the word reclaim or restake. But it is a reclamation of sorts, a reclamation of like what we're meant to do.
Yes.
We're meant to be.
Yes, like on a greater. Yes,
like
yes.
we are
as
and
humans. For
we're
sure.
literally designed to do that.
Yes.
So we yeah, I think that's beautiful. That's important. Go and touch some grass.
Dead ass, y'all. Get out there, really. Like, please. Really. It's really.
Go touch some grass.
It feels good. I know that it's like, ew, but like, please, touch some grass, take some shrooms, drink some water. Okay? Like, experience, feel the things. Because we are people, right? We're humans. And we're not like just these vessels for
we
production.
Gotta be in cohesion together,
Yes, the coexistence of it all.
Just like breathing,
Okay, so, goddamn, we literally have been talking for an hour. So, the topic of the day,
yes.
Let's get into it. Community. What's more community than black kink? Okay?
Period.
Black kink is, a universe that I am familiar with, but it was very recently that like I've really like been more involved in not just. I've always been a bystander.
Okay.
Because I was afraid of participating, and I had been in spaces where I tried to participate, but the fetishization that was happening, and it was a mind fuck because I had gone to like a fringe place looking for community, and then experienced the same kind of like fuck shit that I experienced in like places that I was trying to like
escape.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's hella powerful.
It can be. It can definitely be. I think in the spaces
powerful.
where I've been, and like not even to be so literal, but in spaces where I'm around others or people that identify as other or people that are just like positioned with this identity of other, I feel like care is always a collective practice in those spaces. Like the idea of having consent workshops before you go to play parties is just like wow. Like
I love that.
Like that again goes back to that collective liberation, but also a collective accountability, right? And so yeah, I love that at the same time, and I do hear you too with feeling that mind fucked of like I'm in this space that's supposed to be like this place of acceptance of all the weirdness and quirkiness and the all the things, but then still getting inflicted with that harm and like those things can happen. I think something too that's been helping me move through those what the fuck feelings is recognizing that like harm doesn't escape any space. It's something that we're constantly gonna have to navigate being human.
Yeah.
And we can definitely draw our lines in the sand where we want to, whether or not we want to accept those things or like grace is that's another conversation. But I don't know. I think reshaping my idea around spaces being completely safe for me has helped liberate me in a lot of ways.
You just said a fucking word.
Fran
just said a word.
I would be there or exist in that
I can't believe you just said that.
Protecting of, and I obviously still am.
Like care as the praxis is literally like my I too hold that very near and dear, and I'm so protective of that. That it's literally blowing my mind to think like, wait, no, bitch, like care can still be the center and is the center. It is.
It has to be. But we're human beings, and so we will not live throughout this life without failure happening to us continuously, and us failing towards others continuously. Like that is the part of the human experience, and so honestly, that happening in those spaces, I feel like it's just kind of like a reminder. A lot of the times too that like we have to constantly be checking ourselves. It's just it's a part of the work.
Right.
It's always gonna be a part of the work.
Right.
There are no real utopias. right? And we like to, again, we talked about the delusion, right?
Yes, yeah.
And again, and this is what I was speaking to earlier, like, okay, so who are those care practices serving most? I think that's when we get in those spaces where we get harmed because we're assuming that this identity only looks this way. When it's just like, yeah, I could hold all these same identities as you, but I still am a totally different person. Yeah. And like these uncomfortable conversations are continuous.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm always changing, and you're always changing.
Yeah.
And we got to continue to have the conversations.
Yeah. So, Kink, I love that you're talking about communication and conversation, and you're really centering that because Kink,
it's so important in Kink.
Kink has been a savior to me and has been able to translate into my everyday life in ways where I've been able to communicate more clearly. I don't want to say like assert myself, but like assert my boundaries and like really mean it and really stick by it. You know, like and open myself up to exploration in ways that like I had not or fear had closed me off from doing. But consent and communication are tools to liberation and evolution. Like those are two major factors, and we really lack that. We really be lacking that in society. Like so many people, it's frightening how many people don't really even understand what consent is. But I think that I also understand people not understanding it because people don't know what autonomy is either. Yep. You know, so it's like I was not able to begin having thoughts like this until I entered Black kink spaces versus like more status quo white ones. Because listen, there is a difference. When my kink journey began on FetLife, like 9 years ago. Are you familiar with FetLife?
I have no idea.
Oh my god!
I have no idea what this is.
Okay, so I have to remember also. Okay, so
I was
listen.
gonna mention an app that I know of now, but like I don't know.
Oh my god! But no, tell me the app. I'm like, I want to know the app. I don't know the new apps. I don't know. Shit, I'm old. You know, shit. Oh my god.
Pure is one of the new apps.
Pure. Okay, so I was on Pure for a hot minute. Okay. I was on. So actually, y'all, I'm lying. I'm a whore. I was on all the apps. Listen, I was on all the apps. I found all the apps and I was on all of them. But I forgot about Pure. I forgot that I did Pure for a hot minute. Yeah. But FetLife is it's like the Facebook of like the fetish world. It's like this international, you know. So listen, with it's powerful and horrible.
It's a lot. Yeah. It's a lot. I know. I mean,
because
what is a fantasy rooted in, really, a lot of the time?
Oh, but it's not just it's not that part. It's like as a tech person, it's my issue is never my thing is like
they don't have consentful tech practices going on.
All of it. It's like the platform is disgusting. You can tell that it's being run by people who really are not at all like it's capitalist. It's capitalist. It's a corporation. Period. Bottom line.
They don't have consentful tech.
And it's just it instills a lot of values that ripple out into these play spaces that they allow people to build and create on their platforms. You know, there have been like 4 or 5 different fucking really hardcore lawsuits because people have been violated, like all kinds of crazy shit. And it's like, when I was introduced to that world, those munches, that was where I started finding and siphoning, right? And then putting my toe in to meet with people who like shared some of the interests that I shared. And like it was a lot of harmful shit happened, Fran, child. Woo! I dated somebody from.
I'm so sorry.
Woo! You know, it was.
Wow.
I think I've talked about it actually a bit on the pod, or like it's come up in the past. But a lot of things happened, and a lot of harm happened, and I kind of like reinvented myself on FetLife after like Phoenix out of the ashes and became like an advocate, right, in these spaces. So now I'm like You know, a lot of my fat stuff is like really, it's all like black liberation, like exclusively like black liberation,
Period.
and it opened up a world of black kink that I had never explored before, or like it was available, but it was like only in small bites, you know. And I don't know. I'm fascinated, and I believe wholeheartedly that kink is tied directly to liberation because it gives autonomy.
Yep.
There's control. There's all kinds of different facets of the human experiences that like we should explore, and different ways that we can challenge the societal what is it? What is the term? These structures, right? These concepts, right? Like that we've all been subjected to existing in. Um, but consent, man, people don't even know.
You know, yeah, and that's something too that I'm hopeful for a lot with this new generation coming up. I feel like there's such a strong like language. Like I think too a lot of the times part of like being a part of like practices that help heal and hold space for those for healing and like also just doing things the correct way or doing things better than before.
Right.
It's having
right.
the language too.
Yes.
And so like
That's true.
we're getting more comfortable with the language around what consent is and how we enact it
It
and
is
how
true.
we share in consent with each other. And so I'm hopeful for like this next generation, but at the same time, um, yeah, I don't know, like kink is like you said, this is a liberating space. I want to actually like so like you're talking about pleasure earlier. How would you define pleasure for yourself now?
Woo! um, damn.
And if you don't have the answer, that's fine too.
No, I do. It's. I feel like that answer is I'm growing into understanding what pleasure is. I don't think I ever experienced pleasure, my pleasure, my happiness or comfort or desires. Like none of those were centered in past sexual experiences. It really wasn't until my most recent healing, like queer relationship. Everybody was, hi Lou, hi baby, I love you. But like this relationship and choosing this relationship, and that story is hilarious and wild and cosmic. But choosing this relationship every day has more. It's pushing me closer to really understanding what pleasure is and what it looks like, and that I think for me the first hurdle I'm jumping over is holy shit, like I can get pleasure.
Wow.
Like it's like I'm really still like processing that after almost 36 years on this fucking earth,
Wow.
and sexual partners and advocating for everybody else's pleasure and pumping up all the and a whole baby later, I have never. So then I'm processing the grief of like 36.
Yeah.
And it don't mean, and it's funny because it's like I've had orgasms, I've come, like, you know, like I've been in love, like those things have all happened.
Yeah.
But like, pleasure looks like, and it's not even like putting me first because that sounds. I don't even care how it sounds. It's like there's a beautiful like selfishness, and just like I deserve, like I truly deserve to feel good, like and to define what that means, like not have somebody else project what feeling good is onto me.
That's so important. I think too, like what helped me too with like defining pleasure for myself too was like not categorizing it in a sexual space always. Too, because I think pleasure can look like doing the dishes. It can look like, combing my hair. It can look like anything that's helping me to be able to be present more in the spaces that I care to be present in is, I think, pleasure. And so, what care, again, we're back to the care, but what care practices are going into allowing and establishing a space where pleasure can thrive, right? Really helped me to just like look around and be like, I live a pleasure-filled life. Like,
Yeah.
this is, I am, and other people are iteratively adding to my pleasure. And that's going to constantly evolve, right? Like, your definition of pleasure should always evolve because we're always changing.
Yeah.
We're always, creating and being in new spaces. And I'm going to, like, the same things that moved my body today are not going to move my body tomorrow. And so, yeah, it really looks like that check-in work for me.
I love that. That's fucking beautiful, Fran. Goddamn. I'm like learning. I'm like really learning from you, dog. Cause like it's true though that like it's more it's not as quantifiable as like it's like it's this or this or this. Like it really evolves. It's really changing.
It's moving.
It's a living document. It feels like.
Yes.
You know.
Yes. It's a living document. It's living. But yeah, no, I don't know if you want to get into like kinks, like what mine actually are. Like that's where you wanted to go with this, or.
If you want to talk about kinks, like what they are, truly, we were gonna talk about polyamorous relationships. We were gonna talk about these lying ass niggas.
We was gonna talk about a lot of shit. I don't know. I'm definitely. I live in the space of the in between. I've always. I used to love the color gray and everything in my home was gray.
Wow.
And I moved out of this place now. Like my house is so colorful now, and it's funny. But say all that to say is I'm a very fluid ass bitch.
Okay. All right. Shout out.
I'm fluid as fuck. And so I think a lot of what gives me sexual pleasure is this illuminative space of going in between masculine and feminine energy.
Okay.
And so I think just naturally I was like inclined towards pegging and like the idea that like I can be on the opposite side of receiving and not in a demeaning or just like nasty vicious way, but in a like, oh, we're in this shared experience together, right? And so that's been my kink community, or the community that I'm still trying to like find and like seek, because I do have a lot of just very specific desires when it comes to what like I want my partners to look like and who I engage with.
Yes.
I like,
say it, Fran.
I like dark-skinned men with locks.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like, I'm so specific, it's sickening. Because my light ass, right? My
yes,
light ass,
Fran.
And we can talk about that, too.
The colorism, colorism and kink and
we can talk about that, too, because I've been,
like,
like, really, as I'm, conscious and choice-driven person, I think a lot of times, too, I didn't really realize, I think I realized, but I didn't necessarily draw the connection where my desires come from. And I think about it, like, I didn't grow up watching a lot of porn, but the porn that is out there and is accessible, 9 times out of 10, if you're obviously someone specifically interested in black utopias or black spaces, the black men, particularly if you're looking at men, are always dark skinned.
Yes.
And so
with locks,
it's not it's not wild to me that like I can't even gain any type of sexual desire towards anything else. It's wild, you know. And so that's something that I've recently just been sitting with and attacking within myself, because like it can come off like self-hatred. It's definitely not that.
Right.
But it is very limiting when it comes to like what I find attractive in the masculine space. So I'm working on it, but
damn.
I said all that to say the options are limited for pegging in that community.
It's yes. Yo, okay. Do you listen to the Horrible Decisions podcast?
Yes.
Okay. Did you recently? What was his name?
I know you're talking about. Yeah.
Okay. All right. But I was like, this is like a unicorn ass situation. Like, sir, you are one in a billion.
I've had, though, like,
have you really? Fran.
I told you. So when I say I'm specific about my desires, that means I don't get anything but those desires.
Right. Well, because your whole energy, energy is like focused on and literally poured into that. So you be just drawing them in, nigga.
Yeah,
how dare you? Woo! I love it.
Oh, it's been so.
Oh my God, pegging
and
wasn't
like,
even a thought of mine until after so we were talking a little bit earlier about like I did not tap into my sexuality or desires or any of that shit until really recently. Like like my kid turned 13 and something in my brain.
I sometimes get envious of that because I'm like, if I get old, am I going to be bored to death?
You know what?
I don't I'm approaching like what careers are they? Because I have done everything, guys. I'm approaching
the question.
No.
I can't answer that question. No, I don't know.
Real.
What I can say is this: if change is constant and evolution evolves,
true.
Like then you'll just continue evolving.
Yeah.
You may have done a lot of shit.
It's a lot of shit.
Okay. All right.
Figuratively.
Okay. You done the thing. I'm putting like a doo-doo emoji, like right, putting a little doo-doo right up out of the. Okay, but like, I had never like been able to like explore, and I don't think you stop. You know, I don't think you stop. Like, I don't think that you stop.
You don't stop, but yeah, that is something I.
But Pegasus, I really. Lately, oh my god! So lately, my queer relationship has been able to let me unlock a lot of.
Hey. Uh-oh.
And then, oh my god! And then recently, I realized that LL Cool J's "Doing It" video is like the core of like 90%. It's just so funny that you were talking about like coming to. Like realizing like the core of like your like fantasies or like why like why you have a certain aesthetic. If you've never seen LL Cool J's "Doing It" video, I'm gonna show it to you. For those in the podcast who are not familiar, go pull up LL Cool J's "Doing It." All right, the scene, 1995, Brooklyn. Okay, this introduced to me, and I did not realize it. Swear to God, until literally 2 weeks ago. I like wanted to fuck LL Cool J and be LL Cool J.
Got it.
And like the whole.
Was this your awakening?
It was an awakening. It was a big one. It was a huge one.
It was a queer awakening for you.
It was a huge one.
I love talking about queer awakenings with other people, like and, other queer folks, because we all have our queer awakenings.
Well, and it's like again, like I truly, it be blowing me. It again, you never stop growing. You never stop learning because. It literally stopped me in my tracks, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was a thing. That's a thing, and like I never experienced these types of awakenings until experiencing my most recent, like this relationship, and also before this relationship, starting my own kink journey by exploring these spaces because I knew that the everyday average shit just like it was just not popping. Like it was not popping, and not that there's anything wrong with that. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to fuck and do average, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing wrong with any of that.
You want to be heteronormative, I guess.
Live your life, you know, or whatever.
Is that a thing? Is it real?
I don't believe it is. Just like,
I think it is a thing.
I believe that.
What?
I don't.
Huh?
People be
Everybody
performing. People be performing, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Everybody is very gay. Everybody is very gay. I want to say everybody's mid to moderate gay. I think that we're past a little, okay? there's too much shit flying around on these internets for it just to be a little bit of getting
like you know you like me eating your ass. Stop playing.
Stop, okay? Just 1 or 2 thumbs, a little spit, a little saliva. You like getting choked out.
You know, I'm being such a hypocrite because don't come nowhere near my ass, yo.
Not your asshole? Not the ass?
Don't come nowhere near that motherfucker. Like,
really?
It is off limits as hell. Yeah, I know.
No comment.
I actually got my ass ate for the first time not too long ago.
Wow, okay.
And
did you love it? Did you hate it? It's not living up to the hype. It didn't live up to the hype for you.
There was no hype for it to live up to.
Oh no.
With me particularly, and I know because I be all in the ass.
So wait, what was it? Wait a minute, Fran. What was it? I
got an ass tat this year.
Okay,
right?
shout.
And so I'm definitely being a black woman, a black person, being I don't know labels. Who cares about labels?
You're doing it, yeah.
But like, there's definitely ways if you subscribe to film, like ways our bodies are supposed to look. Mm-hmm. And so my ass has always been an insecurity of mine, and so.
Same, my ass too. So I also got an ass tap for that reason.
Yes.
I got a little Mary Wiley right here.
Period. So I was like, I'm gonna get a tap because I'm tired of like it was the only space in my life really like that's the only insecurity I had like ever. And I know that's wild to say because we have so many insecurities, right?
Yes.
But for me, really, it was just that, and so I was just like tired of it. Like again, what's the new tool I'm about to pull out to like attack this shit?
Yeah,
and so like ass tat, let's go. Mm-hmm. And so with getting the ass tat, it's brought a sense of like pleasure that I can explore now
Yes.
around that part of my body.
Yes.
And so I was like, I was a little more comfortable with trying it out after that.
Okay.
Basically. And then also this.
I like that. Okay.
Yeah, I have a new partner or whatever, sexual partner,
Mm-hmm.
and they were really into it, and I was just like, I can't be this person forever. It was time to change. It was time to go with the flow, you know. And so I was like, fuck it, try it, whatever. And I'm not gonna say I loved it because I'm still not like I'm good with. I'm good. But I am getting more comfortable with it.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
I'm like, okay, I'm opening up the idea that it might be a place that I can explore, that I can achieve some sense of pleasure from. But currently I don't. You know, we'll see.
Damn.
But that's how we got there, basically.
Yeah. Because I also had my ass ate for real recently, and I was like, oh. Like, I didn't bust from it, but I was like, wow, you know? And, like, just having your ass appreciated in a way that, like, it's normally not. Like, it's just, I don't know. Try it, y'all. It's just,
I think that's what it was
like,
more of a mental, like, thing
yeah,
than it was anything that had to do with, like, physical pleasure.
Right,
and
exactly.
So that's why I'm challenging myself that I might get there.
Okay.
What we talked about earlier, too, is that, like, I have worked with a lot of privilege with, I've experienced pleasure with every partner I've had. And I come easy.
Bless you.
So I'm not in my head when it comes to sex. But that is an area that I was in my head when it comes to sex. And so we'll see where it goes now that I'm like decreasing the mental prison that I put around that area of my body. We'll see.
Kink has been helping me get out of my head because I am so in my head, and like personally I really enjoy you know, both sadomasochism, because I enjoy both being dominant and also being like baby and being brat. But like deprivation lately, and like blindfolds and like being tied up. I'm really obsessed with being tied up. I really am obsessed with being tied up. Really a big fan because it stills me in a way, and it feels almost like hugs. Like really powerful and like intimate. Like it just reminds me that I'm okay. Yeah. In my head. Yeah. That's what takes over my head.
I can see that.
But like I never thought that I would be into like degradation, but I'm into degradation, and surprise, it's really beautiful. I really enjoy impact play. That's been wildly healing. Something about getting hit till you cry and then being held.
Okay.
Probably has something to do with like my mom beating my ass as a kid or something fucking
shit.
I don't know. Only I didn't get held. I didn't get no hugs afterwards. She was like, go to bed. That's another story. Woo! You know?
I think that's something that I found extremely empowering around keeping spaces.
Yeah.
Is that new space to really like go with go and explore those very broken and like harmful places within our own ideas and others, in a safe environment, and an environment where you have the autonomy to say stop, to say no, because there's so many no's that are taken from us, right? And every day that like here I am, someone that like is not even exploring a part of my body because of those no's, right? Like, oh no, this can't be, like, this isn't a space that someone can like give me pleasure, gain pleasure from, because it's not me.
You limit yourself. You limit yourself. You're stifling yourself.
Exactly. And so go
listen, go bananas. You know what I'm saying? Like the living in the in between as a person. So kink has been great because it's also helped snap me out of the binary that I found myself trapping myself into. Because of lived experiences, or because of like my own ego and notions of things. And the gray area the fluidity in it. Everything, it ties into change. It ties into like the natural order, the divine order of like evolution, and growth. Kink has really set me free in a lot of ways, and has also been a source of really amazing community building. I was shocked to find, this is gonna sound ignorant, but like I was shocked to find a lot of like political alignment, and affirmation in these spaces. But if at the core of like this I don't want to say it's work because can't, but in the core of this like environment is like consent and autonomy and freedom, right? Like freedom, you know, like you gotta be on some free shit to be like, yeah, eat my ass, or like I want you to like choke me with your dick or whatever. Insert your whatever here. It's powerful.
It is. It really is. And so yeah, go. How can people find more kink spaces? That is one thing I'm still like. It's a struggle for myself. I recently found this podcast. I think the Hard and Soft podcast.
Okay.
And it is a very male. It's two cis. There's two cis guys, but the ways and the community they created outside of that, it's just really beautiful to see. Like, okay, more black people just being in kink spaces. Like, and more black people curating kink spaces. And like I said, being consentful about it. The reason why I started with like there are two cis het men is because I feel like a lot of cis het men, or not even feel like, but like historically have been provided the space to be more sexually, like,
and it's encouraged.
What's the word for it? To talk about their sexual experiences, if that makes sense, right?
Right.
Like there's almost an entertainment value.
Oh, of course, it's encouraged.
And a cultural value to like talking about your sexual.
It's a conquest.
It's a conquest, and so. Yeah, but at the same time, I have found that space to be really beautiful. And like something too I'm noticing too is a lot of these spaces are creating discords, and so like in those discords you can be a part of communities from that space, and so Discord is kind of confusing to me. But
Discord is also confusing to me.
It's a lot of moving parts.
Listen, but okay, did you ever
like,
use
tech together?
What was the fucking Slack? Did you ever use Slack? Okay,
it's very similar to Slack.
It's like a Slack, but Slack was also messy.
It's just a lot.
Clean it up. You know what I mean? I agree. I agree. My kid uses Discord
it should not
a lot.
Be this damn confusing. Like where do I go to do anything? I don't know. Like which button am I? What does this do?
Honestly,
what does this do?
That's that's where the old person in me gets really activated. Like I get triggered in tech with that shit because as soon as I open something,
it's just bad user experience. They need to hire me.
Oh my god. Okay. Period. All right. Let's get Fran in there. All right. Period. Yeah. I'm ready for it because we need it, okay, obviously, to do the work that we need to do out here and connect like we need to connect. Don't nobody need to be control alt deleting for 50 minutes.
It really is a lot, yo. I did my first like Zoom or whatever, like virtual podcast, and I was using Discord, and it was just like it took us a minute to figure that shit the fuck out.
I've been really interested in Twitch lately.
Twitch is nice.
I
think Discord works with Twitch. Like,
yes, there's like an integration. What I'm getting at though is that it's mostly gonna be in spaces that are not your average everyday run of the mill spaces that you're gonna find the your people and these people.
You have to do the work to find them.
You honestly, okay, guys.
They're not just gonna show up.
Okay.
Your friends are not gonna all of a sudden change.
And listen, don't get caught up in these platforms that promise you that.
Yep.
Because coming from experience, as a person who has been scammed in more ways than one out here, you know, it's really simple. It's really easy, or it's not simple. It's very easy to just get caught up. So when we say do the work, or when people say like do the work, like please, like, you know, vetting is so important. That's a huge part, I think, of this process, and also like when you center like yes, kink is about like pleasure and your pleasure and like but finding your people, building community. Like this is how we embrace autonomy. We embrace
and also educate yourself. I spent a lot of time before I invested in actually showing up to perform in kink spaces or like find pleasure in different partners and exploring different things. Just like taking in a lot of just sexual education, and like that's really important. I think like there's
people don't want to do that. People go on bangbros.com one time.
That's real. That's real. I do think there's a lot of us that are like actually providing fun ways to engage with sexual like education and health.
Especially
and
now.
Especially now. Tech
especially
now
has
like completely changed our relationship to pleasure, right? Because it's no longer depending solely on some other body.
Exactly.
So there's just so many ways to like start that relationship with yourself that are out there and is accessible to you. And so I just challenge folks to go, educate and like don't stop educating. It's always going to be a part of our experience.
Right.
We gonna be in school for the rest of our lives. I know. But like we have to.
People don't want to. People hate that. People hate that because the American dream is like,
hey, take a break, take a beat. Like, yes, take a beat. Like, we're
not
always. That's a part of the education too. Is that, and this is kind of how my podcast is set up. Is that it's a 7-episode segment, and then you're supposed to sit with the work.
I love that.
Right, sit with it. Allow the things to happen. See if you agree or not. Like, is it working for you or
Give
not?
Give yourself time.
Give yourself some time, and get back to it. Though.
Yes, of course. Yes, of course.
You gotta get back to
it. Right.
Take a beat. If it's a lie,
You should. I think we don't allow again that instant gratification and like perfectionism and breaking that down. It does not allow the process. It does not. It does not honor the process. It does not honor that journey, and like you deserve it. I don't want to think. I'm sorry. I don't want to keep saying you deserve it, but like, you're human, and like scientifically, we need time to process things. Your brain needs time to digest information.
Take a beat.
You literally have to sleep and rest. I know y'all don't want to hear that, but you really got to sleep and rest and let your brain do the things and your body do the things so that you can make choices, because we are in school forever, Fran. We have to choose every day.
Every day.
Okay? Don't get no easier. Sorry. All right, we're gonna wrap this show up because honestly, we've been going for an hour and 45 minutes. Fran came in and I was like, we're just gonna go for like a quick little. We're just gonna go real quick. Don't worry, it'll be like an hour and a half.
This has been fun though.
It has been great.
Yeah.
I
got a lot of good laughter in.
I got a lot of good lessons in, Fran. You really over here you blew my mind and like taught me some things.
You taught me some things too.
Like,
you taught me some things too.
This is dope. We're gonna keep this.
Yes.
We're just gonna keep this relationship up. Keep this continuation. Tell us where we can find you, please.
Where you can find me. So I think I'm going by Lamarre these days.
Yes. Okay.
I think I'm switching to my last name, but you can find me on Twitter at Catch This Love.
Yes. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Do you instead of calling you Fran, you want me to call you Lamarre?
You don't have to. I've never been.
Okay.
You call me whatever.
Okay. No.
And like I don't mean that in like a pleasing way. Like
right.
I genuinely, I just don't offend anything.
Yeah.
But yes. And I'm just not that specific. I'm fluid.
Yes, exactly.
That might feel differently.
I'm like, yes, this is it, y'all.
I can never ask someone to like call me something specific because I'm gonna change my mind.
I love it.
But yeah, Catch This Love on Twitter.
Yes.
And then all one word, Catch This Love. And then my full name on Instagram is Francesca Lamarre, and that's Francesca with an H and Lamarre with 2 R's. Okay. And an E at the end. And yeah, we gonna get free. That's that. We gonna get free on everything. That's how it's supposed to happen because every site was available.
Perfect.
Yeah.
support me. You know what I mean? Look, I got the things. Look, do the things. Follow me. I'm streaming every Wednesday with new episodes on Spotify, on Apple Music, on Anchor FM. Rate my shit, okay? And then tell 2 friends that you loved it and that they should listen to it. Subscribe to the Patreon. Patreon.com/EHardRs313. I'm on IG at EHardRs313 as well. Another one of those moments where I was like, God, everything's just like, it's all free, it's all here. It all just fits, you know? Boom. And then email me. Like, I'm working on, I don't know what type of structure I want to set up for this, but like, I was want to like just read how y'all are doing, what y'all doing, like how you doing. You want some advice, or you want to ask my feelings about something. I love people asking questions. I'm so excited that you asked me a question on this podcast because like I love when people ask questions. So tell me how you are, ask me a question, whatever. Take care of yourselves, hydrate. I'll see you next week. Bye. Yo. I did it.